Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Ordinary Plant Girl. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video and please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you are returning, well, thank you guys so much for coming back. I love it when you're here and I love all the comments you guys give me. It makes my week. So today, it's been a while since I did a back to basics episode. I actually think I only did one, and that first episode was the Ficus benjamina. I'll link it somewhere. I can't even remember how long ago it was because I completely forgot about the series. But I figured that I would kind of bring it back because in the back to basics series, it was me talking about the common to me houseplants that you can find in my area and just anywhere. So that is what I am going to talk about today. So if that is something that you are interested in, please stick around. Okay, so today we are talking about Syngoniums. And the thing with the common Syngoniums, which I'm sure some of them you guys can find anywhere, wherever you live. I'm not sure about, internationally, but I know that here and in the US, these ones are pretty common. I've got them a long time ago. I am going to separate. I'm not going to talk about my uncommon Syngoniums because I do have a few of those as well. These are just basic, common ones you can find in any grocery store or any dollar store, which is coincidentally where I found all of these. So let's just get into it. So my first one, since it's the biggest one, is this one here, and it is my Syngonium white butterfly. This plant I have had for a really long time, and granted it should be much bigger, but there was a point in time where there was a lot of neglect going on with my plants. It was just a bad time in my life. Plants should have helped me through it like they do now, but that wasn't my main focus. I had other things going on, so a lot of my plants did suffer. So this one actually, oh, you know what? Let's back up a second. This one I have only had maybe a year and a half, now that I'm thinking about it, because I bought this one to replace the other one that I had that I neglected and died. So there's this one. It did have a little bit of trouble with thrips. That stunted a lot of its growth. But since it's been treated and taken care of, it grows constantly. Like it just won't stop. I mean, it's just got the most beautiful leaves. It's probably one of my favorites out of both the common and the uncommon Syngoniums. I love the darkness of the petioles, everything. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with it though. I know that a lot of them people will have hanging. I don't know if I'll let it hang though, because it just seems to really like being upright as it is. So I think I'll probably just leave it upright. I might, maybe I'll trellis it. That is an idea. I might trellis this one and see where we can go from there. I'll pretty much talk about the general care of these ones at the end after I show you the ones that I have, because it's all the same, and really it's all the same across all the Syngoniums, regardless of whether they are common or uncommon, with the ones that I have. Okay, so that is the Syngonium white butterfly. Now my next one, this one, ooh, I just watered it yesterday, so it's pretty heavy. It's been transplanted. This one, now here's the thing. it is a pink Syngonium, but have you ever actually looked at how many pink Syngoniums there are, aside from the newer, more uncommon ones? But as far as like the common ones, this is not, I don't know if it's a, what, I think one is a Neon Robusta. I think that's one, which looks very similar. I mean, I really just call it a pink Syngonium because I don't really know the name, but if you look at these little leaves down here, it looks almost like one of the illusion varieties. But this was actually low light. So that was low light color, which I actually do like the markings. And then these bright big pink ones here are highlight. There's that one, and then there is this like super pink one too. So this one I got in a dollar store many moons ago. I did have to transplant it the other day because it was to the point where I was watering it about every 3 days and the pot was super light, and it turned out that even though it wasn't root bound, the roots had worn themselves around the bottom to a point where there was no soil underneath them. It was just one big coil of roots underneath it. So I put it in something bigger because it was in a 5-inch pot. I think it was 5-inch. But yeah, so it's got a new little pink guy growing in here. It's got another little one down here. And since it's been taken care of a little better, it wasn't a low light spot too, but since it's been taken care of a little bit more, it has just shot out these really tall leaves. And it's an amazing plant. I love Syngoniums. I know I keep kind of cutting myself off. I love Syngoniums. They are probably one of my favorite genus of plants. I am an avid philodendron lover, which most of you know already. But the Syngoniums, they never disappoint. They never disappoint. There's just always something going on. All right, so this is my pink something. We'll figure it out. If anybody knows what it is, leave it in the comments. Now this guy here, oh, we've had some trials and tribulations. So this is my Syngonium Maria. Either way, that's what it is. I have had this plant, not this one specifically, sort of, I'll explain. I had the mother plant of this, which was probably just about the same size as the pink Syngonium. Before everything fell apart last year, I had the mother plant in my office on my desk. And shortly before that, I think it was January or February, when you're not actually supposed to propagate your plants, but if you have plants in an office, you know that they're going to continue growing. It's like they don't feel the seasons. They've got fluorescent lighting, they've got the temperature that they need, and they will grow. Anyway, I took a piece of that plant to bring home because I had taken the whole plant to work and I wanted to have a piece of it at home. So I brought it home and I water propagated it. And then next thing you know, we couldn't go back to the office. Our office was closed. Our office is still closed. And I could not go back for any of the plants that I had there. I believe I had 4 that were there. So anyway, I had this piece that I had brought home and water propagated. Once it grew roots, I put it in a ceramic pot, but it wouldn't grow. It wouldn't grow. I don't know why. So what I did after that was I cut it again. So I do still have it's about a 4-inch ceramic pot. I do still have that. There's a few issues going on there. I don't know what is going on with the base of the plant. It's really not very big. It's super small. I mean, I think that the leaves on it are probably as big as maybe this little guy right here, if you can see it. Oh, no, you can't because I'm fucking on a leaf. That little guy right there. And it is definitely struggling. So I'm kind of rehabbing it right now. But when I put this into a chunkier mix and paid much more attention to it, it has now shot up. And I mean, look at these leaves. These ones also kind of have a pink hue to them. This is actually probably the pinkest one I have ever seen on this plant. And I'm not sure if that's a highlight thing. I don't know. But usually you will see it will have got the dark green and then kind of got like a fleshy pink on the inside and on the veining. And that was one of the things I loved about this plant. And one of the reasons that I don't want to give up this plant. So that is my Syngonium Marie. Now the care for these plants. Lots of you probably know, if you're not a newbie at having these plants, you'll know that they like to be moist. They don't like to be wet. So the trick with these plants is giving them a balance of water that they can appreciate. I do have the white butterfly in a self-watering pot, but they do like their water. They do like their light. I found that they don't have to be in really, really bright light. They will still grow. The leaves might be a little bit smaller. They will still grow in a little bit of a low light situation. But that doesn't stop the plant at all from being happy. In some cases, it might turn out to get a little bit leggy. But then again, depending on how you want to grow your plant, if you want it to hang, you're kind of going to want it to be a little bit leggier. It's super easy to propagate. All you have to do, like with most of our aeroids, is cut between the node. This one's pretty good. It's got aerial roots that are poking out pretty much everywhere. I don't know if you can see them in there. I'll zoom in if you can't. They are really, really easy to water propagate. I myself am leaning away from water propagation. Well, except for, little things like my vining plants maybe. I do love my prop boxes. I am starting to really, really like perlite, so that is something that I might actually try the next time I go to propagate one of these. But I find that I don't propagate my Syngoniums too much, with the exception of my elbow, because that thing grows like a weed. It's already past its moss coil that I have it on, and that is a totally different story because we are talking about our basic, our common Syngoniums. So, what did I talk about? I talked about light, sort of talked about light. I guess bright and direct, which is usually the normal go-to. I do actually have them supplemented by, it's a desk lamp. Because where they sit, I've got a west-facing window, but they're on the wall side. So I do have a lamp that is there. I'm pretty sure it came from IKEA, don't remember. But they like it, they are growing. I've got no problems with it, so that is how that is going to stay. Besides that, the lighting, the watering, I do give them a light organic fertilizer every time I water, so it is a 312, which I also supplement with Marphyl, just so that I can just so that I can fertilize them with every watering. I will be putting something together about how I prepare my plants for fall. And that being said, there's really not much else I can say about these plants except that they're amazing. They never fail. I mean, you would have to give them some serious neglect for them to fail. It's funny because saying that they're basic almost sounds bad, but it's not bad at all. Like, I appreciate how simple they are. Like, you don't even have to worry about them at all. They're great. So I think that that's all I really need to cover. It was actually just kind of a chance to show. It's actually, this series is actually a way for me to show my basic houseplants, my common houseplants, the common ones that nobody really talks about anymore because we've been inundated so much with the uncommon or the rare. And it's funny because some of those uncommon or rare plants are now moving into a common category. So it's going to be interesting to see how that is all going to work. But I thank you guys so much for being here. I love to talk about plants in general, but I'm glad that I am talking about the ones that I see all the time, you can find anywhere, the ones that nobody talks about anymore. So I am so glad that you were here with me. I hope you are all safe and well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.